hot, too hot.
Yeah, it is the opposite of cold in my basement right now. Actually, it's good temperature down here. My nipples are slightly hard, so that's good. But as soon as I go upstairs, guys, I tell you what, those hard nipples, they get floppy, okay? Because it's going to be almost 90 degrees today here in the Denver metro area. I don't like it, not one bit. I will become a bitchy today because it's too hot. I got a baseball game to help coach tonight. It's going to be great. I'll give you an update on over this weekend. Oh, it was awesome. That's coming up in the sports section. But yeah, I don't do well in the heat. I am a fall temperature guy. Fall and spring, those are my jam. Okay? I love Colorado. I think ultimately I would do best if I lived up in the mountains because it's usually fairly cool. That being said, if it's too cold, then I'm a bitch too. I am a real gem. I got to be honest. Ladies, I know you're just sitting there going, "Wow, he bitches about the heat and the cold. Oh, I wish he was available." But I'm not. I'm taken. And then when you sit there and go, "Whoa, he's got ailments like he's got a jacked up hip and two busted up knees. Oh, and a foot problem." Man, that is one lucky lady. I know. Tell my wife every day, you are very lucky. She's like, am I though? Am I? Anyway, yeah. So it's gonna be hot around here, but it's gonna cool off later in the week. But that's Colorado. It's not that big of a deal. Could be worse. Oh my goodness gracious. We're gonna get into what the Midwest and part of the East Coast has to deal with that thankfully over here in on the western side of the United States, we don't have to deal with. We don't have to deal. I feel sorry for you guys. The shit that is about to unleash, and it may have already started to unleash, for you guys out there. We'll get into that. Got a lot of great stories. Like I said, the sports section, it's jam packed. A lot to get into that. But right now, what you need to do, click on that like button wherever you're consuming this. Whether you're watching or listening, hit that like button. Also subscribe. And then go ahead and click on the notifications. That way, every time there's a new episode, you're reminded. Whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, or what other ones are out there? There's like Pandora, a whole bunch of other ways, Apple Podcasts, so many different ways to consume the product. Also, remember, today's show is presented to you by the great people over at Roof Goat USA. We have a goat story. Oh my God. Yeah, that's coming up first in headlines. You know what? Yeah. In honor of Roof Goat USA, that's going to be our leadoff story coming up in the headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Yeah, I said it. Roof Goat USA, you got to be listening to this one. New Zealand cyclist collided with a goat during I think it's Giro d'Italia race. I probably nailed that. Let's be honest. You're listening to that and be like, whoa, does DeHuff speak fluent Italian? No, I don't. I have no idea if I said that correctly or not. But that headline is kind of misleading. I watched the video and I'm like, God damn it. No, disappointing. The goat ran into the cyclist, but there was no cyclist eating some dirt. I was a little disappointed. Sorry, cyclists. Sorry. You're like, whoa, what the fuck, bro? I was really hoping for this goat to like launch itself and just like really just impact the dude's ribs. And then he's just like, fuck. And then crashes into the mountains. Yes, I wanted carnage. Didn't happen. As a guy that has had his ribs broken several times, one where I fell through a roof. That was my own doing. The other one where my hip gave out as I was trying to play football with my son and his friends in the street. And it may have broke my wrist at the time too, but the ribs just really stood out and soaked up all the attention, broke my ribs then. And then there was another time. Who did it? Who broke my ribs? Oh, yeah, Mark Schlereth. former Alaskan wrestling champion back in the day. Oh, and had a stint in the NFL for like, I don't know, like 12 years or something like that. Won 3 Super Bowls, one with the Redskins, 2 with the Denver Broncos. Was just a beast on the field. Offensive lineman. Strong man. Broke my ribs. Goofing around. God, don't be like, oh, he's a villain. Some people hate his guts for it, but whatever. Anyway, yes, I sympathize with broken ribs, but I was really hoping that would happen. You see, like, it's like you're watching a race, like a NASCAR race, and you don't want people to get hurt, but then you're like, it would be exciting if it happened, because I'm just tired of the vroom, vroom, vroom. Oh, what direction's he gonna go? Oh, he's gonna go left. Oh, wow. Yeah, because that's all they do. And then you're just like, I don't want somebody to get hurt, but it would make it very cool. And then it happens, and you're like, oh, shit. So I'm watching this video of the goat trying to take out a cyclist. And let's just say this cyclist, you lucked out because the goat did not bring his A game. He ran into you, but to the credit of the cyclist, he's just like, fuck that shit. I'm not going to get taken out by a goat today. Not today, motherfuckers. By the way, as I talk about it being warmer, watch out for cyclists. And cyclists, watch out for cars. We're both at fault. And it's that time of year where everybody's going to be pointing the finger, usually the middle one, at each other. Cyclists, don't be dicks and just start assuming that you can take over a roadway. If you are, you got to obey the laws. That doesn't mean like what, 2 years ago when I talked about it, 3 years ago when that cyclist cut me off on 120th, decides to go shooting from the sidewalk to the middle of a busy intersection, cuts me off. I almost run him over. Then he turns around after I honk my horn at him, and he gives me the finger. I was like, are you fucking kidding? I don't want you to die. And he's like, whatever. That's him. That's him on his cycle. I get it. It's all fucked up. There should be more lanes for cyclists because, especially here in Colorado, there's so many people out here that want to ride bikes. But the problem is there isn't. And then there's this bad blood between a lot of motorists. And let's be honest, there's a lot of shitty drivers out there. It's a bad recipe. Anyway, be ready for it because that shit's gonna get heated again like it does every year. But next time a goat tries to go take out a cyclist, it better fucking succeed because that was very disappointing for me. Anyway, I was teasing this in the intro. The what is it? Cicadas. Those are about to pop up in like 13 states. I want to say there's parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, I believe West Virginia, stuff like that, New York stuff. There's a good chunk of the United States that is going to have these. And these ones are the ones that lay dormant for about 20 years, so 2 decades roughly. And they're going to pop up, and it's going to be billions of them. And they're all hot and horny, right? They're super horny. That's what they do when they come out. They're like, they start making that noise. That's what that noise is for. They're like, it's basically, come get me, ladies. Daddy's ready. Daddy's open for business, right? Stuff like that. Okay. But it's going to be worse this year, apparently, because I think it's on HBO or Max, whatever you want to call it, The Last of Us. It's a similar virus or fungus, a zombie fungus that's affecting these cicadas. And it's going to make them more hornier, okay? And it's basically like an STD that they're going to be spreading around. Classic, been there. They can't wrap it up. They can't. One, you would say, hey, double wrap that shit, but they can't even single wrap that shit, okay? Let's see, where is it? It's a genital destroying fungi called Massapora cincania. Probably nailed that, guys. Probably did. Scientists are like, my God, he's good. Has a golden tongue. But basically, this fungi ramps up their sex drive and turns them into zombies, like those described in HBO's series Last of Us. Let's see. It affects both the 13-year and 17-year cicadas, and the spores replace the insect's genitalia with a plug of fungus. You're welcome. You're welcome. After hijacking the host system, it then urges a zombified cicada to flick its wings like a female would. When healthy males try to mate with the imposters, they become infected and spread the fungus like an STD. There you go. Just more issues. That being said, scientists aren't worried about it. It's just if you live in those areas, be ready. It's going to be more noisy than usual. Cicada. I'm trying to remember what I used to have. Let's see if I can find it. Sound. Yeah, because I used to have the sound saved. I don't know why I got rid of it. Here, let's see if this is the sound of cicada summer. Let's see if this works. I'm just rolling it straight off of YouTube. See if it better not be an ad. Better not be an ad. Good gravy. Good gravy. I guess in some parts it gets so loud that people call the police because they can't, like, they're misinterpreting it as something else. I don't know, but that's terrible. That's got to be deafening sometimes. That's not even the worst sound I've heard of cicadas. So I've never been around them. I've only heard it on YouTube, and that's frustrating. And they're everywhere. And everything I've read on them is they're actually good for the soil because they go out, they breed, the females lay the eggs, but the dead bodies of those cicada are good for the wildlife around there they'll consume them, as well as they absorb back into the soil. It's the sucker of life, folks. It's the sucker of life. They don't make a Disney movie out of that shit. Cicadas digging themselves out of the ground and go off, trying to fuck whatever's around them. They're like, ah, 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 ah. You don't see that on the Disney Channel. That would be interesting. That I'm surprised they haven't made like some weird like porn like that. Like some cicada coming out of the ground smoking a cigarette, looking for some tail. There's the one female in the corner. She's also in the opposite corner. She's smoking a cigarette and she's got a fungus growing out between her legs. And the males are just like, it's fine. It's fine. It's good enough. Good enough. It'll do. It'll do. I saw this headline the other day and I wasn't sure I wanted to talk about it. Then I started thinking more and more about it. And I'm like, dude, this is just a good glimpse of where we're at as a society. An employee was compared to Darth Vader at work, and she won $40,000 in compensation because it was insulting. I'm sorry. Unless it's like non-freaking stop, where they're like, here comes Darth Vader, and then they start playing the Imperial March every time you're walking down. It'd be like, fine. At first, it'd be like, fuck off, go suck a dick, Carl, or, Nancy, or whoever, right? But after a while, it would get annoying if it was just nonstop. And if you tell them to stop and they don't stop, then I guess in a way, okay, enough. And then that's your only avenue to go down is, sue them. But then I'm like thinking, dude, I've been called so many fucking names at work. I've been called an asshole. Okay, like a physical body part, I'd be kind of honored if somebody called me Darth Vader. Be like, oh, the force is strong with this one. Get the fuck out of my way and do your damn work. Okay? But no, people have called me an asshole. A brown button that's on your back end that opens up and spews feces. That's what I've been called. I guess I'm due for compensation. I'm sure you've been called worse too. Come on. I've been called a pussy before. I'm not going to tell you who, but you could probably guess who. It was at a sports station. But it was playful, so I don't care. It's funny. They're like, you're such a pussy. I'd be like, I know. Watch out. Watch out. I'll get you. Come on. Come on. I think it would be one of the hardest things for me would be if all of a sudden I had to stop doing what I'm doing here and if I had to go work in an office environment. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how, because unless I got a job working construction, or which I don't think I could handle. My knees are just getting worse and worse and worse. Unless it was something like that, I don't think I could handle it, because where like an office environment, you got to be on your toes. You don't want to say the wrong thing because somebody's going to get offended. That's got to be hard for you. You know what I mean? Like a major, boner hard. That's what I'm saying. See, I can't stop that. Every time somebody says something like, oh boy, God, it is wet in the kitchen. Somebody spilled something and be like, how wet is it? My mind's immediately going dirty. Oh, it's really somebody, is the AC on full blast? Then I'd just be looking at my nipples and be like, yeah, apparently it is. See, I can't go into an office environment. I'd get fired immediately. Somebody says something and be like, oh, I need to go home. Why? What's going on? Oh, it's my dog. It's got the sniffles and I need to go there, be with her. Be like, it's a fucking dog. Who cares? It'll be fine. Jesus. I can't go in a work environment like that. I can't. And if you're in there, I feel sorry for you. Because you can't be truthful to yourself. Unless you're somebody that is that uptight and be like, oh, thank goodness gracious. We are all about, shutting our mouths and doing our work and going home. Maybe one day we'll have a cupcake party. I don't know. That sounds fun. Don't you think? Make sure we get some juice. Don't want some soda in here. We don't need that. Come on. How boring. I couldn't do that. If you're in an office right now, okay, we're all thinking it. If other people are listening and they're not in an office, they're wondering what's going on in your life right now. You're listening to this. This is so taboo. Oh my God, look at us. Oh no, what can we make you do to get you in trouble? Oh, you want to do something, don't you? You do want to do something. Guys, what should we make them do? What should we make them do? Just stand up all of a sudden and just go, ah! And then sit back down real quick. Like if you're in a cubicle, oh my God, that would be hilarious. Literally take off your headset, pause the show, and then get up and just go, ah! Or just go, pickle farm, and then sit down. And people are like, did he say pickle farm? What's that mean? I don't know. And then you're just sitting there going, it seeps out. Okay. I'm helping you relieve the pressure. Okay. You guys got to tell me what other stuff can we make them do? Okay. They need the release. This is like jacking them off in the office. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is like a mental jack off. Okay. We're letting them expel this built up energy at the office. Send them in to huffpodcast@gmail.com or respond wherever you're listening to this. What can we have them do? We'll see if they do it. Now, you can secretly send me an email saying, hey, DeHuff, I did it, okay? I stood up. I didn't say Pickle Farm. I said this, bleh, whatever it was. Maybe you just got up and went, bleh. I want to know. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my socials at DeHuff Podcast. Come on, listen, we're all here to help. That's what we need to do. It's going to make you smile. That's good. It's good stuff. Then people are going to go, he's such an asshole. That guy, he's like the Darth Vader. Then you can sue him. Huh? You're welcome. Then you can buy me some lunch. There we go. That'd be fun. Hey, we got more coming your way. In fact, we're going to play a little quick game of, I don't like the sound of that. That's coming up, followed up by the sports section. But first, when you need somebody to come out and look at your roof, you need somebody with experience. That's a goat, okay? What I'm saying is you need the goat. You need to go with Roof Goat USA. They've been in business for 23 years, and there's a lot going on with the insurance companies that they're going to help you with and help guide you to the right direction that you need to go down to when it comes to roof repairs. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. I was talking to our insurance company, and they're like, yeah, we're probably going to stop hail coverage coming up within a year or two. And you're like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, too many people are having hail problems. Oh, snot. That's not good. But you know what? Roof Goat USA knows how to deal with all this stuff. They're here to help, whether it's a repair, replacement, insurance claims, while they're there. Roof Goat USA's experienced professionals are committed to delivering reliable and durable solutions. And you know what? They prioritize the safety and comfort of your family, making sure that your home is well protected against all the elements. They have a 30-year guarantee, not a 2-year guarantee, not a 5-year guarantee, 30-year guarantee from date of install. That's all materials and labor for 30 years from date of install. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And you know what? There's no fine print. When you look, they were showing me their stuff. They're like, look, where's the fine print? There is no fine print. We're very upfront. They're honest. They're like me. This is why I love working with Roof Goat USA, because they're honest and they're all about making sure that they give you the best experience. You, the customer. Nobody else does that, okay? They're above and beyond the best. They're the GOAT for a reason. Roof Goat USA. For all your roofing needs, contact the GOAT, 303-495-4630, 303-495-4630, or go to roofgoatusa.com. Again, roofgoatusa.com. Experience the Roof Goat USA difference today. Well, I teased it, and I think we need to try this. There's a couple stories that I'm like, you know what? I don't like the sound of that. I think we can fix them up. And you know what? I think we can just, add on just a little bit. So let's jump into it.
Your God can't help you, Jim, but I can.
I don't like the sound of that.
All right, the first one comes in. This is the headline. It says, OnlyFans creator reveals the one thing she'll never do. And you know what? I think I know what it is. I don't need to read the article. It's butt stuff. I'm pretty damn sure it's butt stuff. Okay? Boom. Fix the article. There you go. That's all that you, wouldn't that be awesome? You just click on the link, be like, what is it? What won't she do? And it's just that. It's butt stuff. Do you think it's butt stuff? Yeah, I bet it's butt stuff. Okay, there you go. You're welcome. Okay, listen, I made an open just for this. The next one says, I had a threesome with a bisexual woman and my dead husband's ghost. He finally got his happy ending. That's not the joke. That's the headline. But when interviewed after the encounter, the man's ghost said, yeah, I didn't participate. She thinks I did. I just watched. And he smoked a cigarette. Apparently, they have cigarettes in the afterlife. There you go. You're welcome. If there's a headline you want to add to, I don't like the sound of that, and you want to change it up a little bit, go ahead. Send it in to me, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. Have some fun with it. And what's great is you can take something so basic and make it dirty. That's what we do. That's what I like. That's what I like. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my socials, direct message, or on my timeline at DeHuff Podcast. All right, you know what we... You're welcome. You're welcome. You know what we need to do now? Jump into sports.
When it comes to tight ends, going deep in long balls, this guy knows his stuff.
He has followers, and not just on Twitter.
It's Sports with DeHuff.
One of the biggest stories ripping across, well, the nation, Major League Baseball, but definitely here in Colorado, because we've been joking around about how bad the Colorado Rockies are, because they are just shit. They've now, guys, breaking news. I don't even want to do breaking news, but they have won 7 games. They win their 7th game, but the game before that, they lost to the Padres 21-0. 21-0. Real quick before I get into the main headline is the Padres are the first MLB team to score 20-plus runs and have their starter throw a 9-inning shutout since the Cincinnati Red Stockings. That's what their name used to be? The Red Stockings? I didn't know that. They did that against the Baltimore Orioles on August 10th, 1889. That was against the Colorado Rockies right now, and that was terrible. The Rockies, like I said, fired Bud Black, their skipper, their manager, because, he's the problem. I jokingly said this on Twitter yesterday. I said, Rockies fire Bud Black because he's the problem. And then I wrote underneath it, Monfort's, and quoted, fake quoted them. Hey, Bud, here's a pile of turds. Make us lemonade. That's what they did. And they fired him. I also made a poll, a big poll. See, again, can't go into the work life. Can't do it. Can't do it. Everything's a joke to me. I made a poll that said, where'd it go? Sorry. My computer's running slow. It was basically, who do you blame most for the Rockies sucking, essentially? Ownership, coaching, players. Players coming in at 4.4%, coaching at 0.03%. That means ownership. That should be ownership/GM at 95.3%. Okay? That's not really shocking, is it? I did that for a reason. I knew what everybody was going to say. Now, that being said, I'm still shocked that the players are coming in at 4.4%. Because, yes, I slightly understand that, because ultimately it does come down to the players. But you don't have high-end players. Yes, they're professional baseball players, but they're not the upper-tier players. That's on ownership and the GM to go out there and bring in the big dogs. They don't want to bring big dogs. Anytime they have big dogs, they get rid of them. They're like, ooh, he's too good. We should get rid of him. Arenado, Story, all those guys that had potential to be greats. They were really freaking good, and they're like, yeah, let's get rid of them. DJ LeMahieu, come on. The list goes on and on. It's ridiculous. I have a significant amount of votes on this, and it's pretty interesting when you read these. Michael wrote, LOL, it's 95%. This is when he wrote it. 95%. Monfort front office. That many people can't be wrong, okay? They may be, but it definitely says you have an image problem, which is not good at all. Absolutely. Whether this poll is 100% accurate of what's actually wrong with the team, the optics are it's ownership. And the fan base is dwindling. They're fed up. I jokingly, but not really, have decided, you know what? I've given up on the Rockies. If I'm going to support a Major League Baseball team, it's going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. A month into my life, we moved to Colorado. I'm not a pioneer. Well, it's not a pioneer or whatever. I'm not a pure Coloradan, I guess. So I have this, connection to Arizona. And you know what? At least Arizona puts out a competitive fucking team. Not the Rockies. And listen, and the Montforts, the owners of the Rockies, are going to still profit because there's enough transplants to this great state of Colorado that when the Chicago Cubs come to town, there's going to be plenty of Cub fans there to fill the stands, or the Yankees, or the Red Sox, or the Padres, maybe not the Padres, but you know what I'm saying? There's going to be enough where they are content with, yeah, we're making enough money. And I always say this, it's like, yeah, but imagine if you spent more money to bring in higher end players, and then you were jam packed as far as the stadium goes, because you're putting out an amazing product, you're competitive, you're near the top of the division, if not the top of the division, you'd be making even more money. It's the classic, you got to spend money to make money. But they're just like, why would we want to spend a lot of money to make a lot of money when we can spend a little money and make good money? It's crazy. Travis was like, why is this even a question? Because the point is, I really wanted to make a statement. As of right now, 95.3% of people that voted are saying, yeah, it's the ownership. It's glaring. That's why I even made it a question, Travis. I knew it was going to go this way. Anthony wrote, anyone who voted for anything other than ownership is an idiot. To that point, I get the idea of a coach can only do so much. Players still have to go put out the product. They got to go out there and execute. But that being said, if they're not that talented of players in comparison to what they're going against, I mean, that's where it's just like, you need to have, that's where I'm like, it's not the coaching. The coach can only do so much. The players do have to execute, but you need better players. Here's the crazy thing. I know Ryan McMahon's on the team. That's it. I don't know anybody else on the Rockies. Would the majority of the roster, the starting lineup, would they be on other squads as a starter? Anybody that knows baseball more than I, please let me know. Because it doesn't seem that way. The Rockies are a joke. They are a joke across Major League Baseball. Nate Lundy had one of the best tweets about this. Nate said, firing Bud Black is like amputating your leg because your head is bleeding. That's good. That's good. Rockies are currently on pace to win 28 games. Oh, and good thing they fired the manager, because it might get worse. Do you think that's going to spark them? I know Kyle Freeland the other day was begging via the media, going, hey, fans, don't give up on us. It's really hard. I guess Kyle Freeland's another one. It's really hard to support that. It is. And it makes you wonder, is this a tipping point for the Montforts to go, you know what, let's just sell, or let's move the team? I could see either one happening. Montforts might just up and move. I think a good chunk of Colorado fans would be like, you know what, fine. Maybe we'll wait a little bit and get a new stadium, or not a new team in here. I think ultimately it would be better, because what the fuck are you going to do with Coors Field? I think it would be better if they sold the team. And the only way that happens is if people boycott going to the games. I told you I'm scheduled to go to one of the games because my kid's baseball team is going to be walking around on the field after the season, and I think that's really cool. I'm excited for that. It's a great moment for my son. And for me, I get to walk on there too because I'm part of the coaching staff. I think that's neat. I'm excited to have that moment with my son and his teammates. It's cool. But come on, man. You guys are putting out a shitty product. Get somebody else in here that wants to, because everybody, I would say, if we were able to get everybody in Colorado to vote and say, should the Monforts sell the Rockies? I would say it'd be in the 70% of saying, yes, sell the team. But would that even matter to the Monforts? Probably not. They are the most hated franchise in the state. But I will say this, a more competitive baseball team in Colorado, it is my son's little league team, the Wolfpack. They took on another league. I want to say it was Thornton over the weekend. They took on Thornton on Saturday. And you know what? They faced great pitching, but the Pack's strong batting and solid defense forced the game to be called in the fourth inning. Bases were loaded. They're already up 14-0. They need to get to that 15 mark in order for the game to be called. Who's up to plate but the one and only Jackson DeHuff, my son. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. Prior to him going out onto the field, I said, JD, go out there, swing at anything close, and knock the snot out of it. I was pulled aside by one of the other teammates, and he goes, hey, you always tell us just to make contact and then, let your legs do the rest. I said, yeah, don't use my words against me. But right now, he needs to go knock the snot out of it. And what does he do? 1 ball, no strike. Jackson rips it to center field, bounces off the fence. DeHuff is just running like a madman. In the defense of the kid that was on first base as one of the runners, he was waiting to see if the ball was caught or not. So he was delayed running. And once he saw that it hit the ground, we'll call him K. K runs his butt off to second. JD's hot on his heels by the time that K is rounding second, headed to third. They are running back to back, right? It's like that quick little scene from Major League, and they cross the plate one after another. It was very cool. Walk-off grand slam. Pack wins. JD gets the game ball, and he won't shut up about it after, getting that walk-off grand slam. I get it. You did something cool. It was neat. It was a great moment. At first, when he hit it, I forgot that the bases were loaded. And then I'm like, oh, shit, wait, was that a grand slam? And one of the other coaches, Coach Chris, is like, yep, it sure was, dude. Your son did that. And I'm like, oh, my God. The dugout erupted. Talk about a cool moment, a core memory. That's what he created. It was so neat. And I told him, like I said before, I told him, anything close, just take a swing at it. Quit trying to look for the perfect pitch. It's either going to be a strike or it's on the edge. It might be a ball. It's like, take it out of the umpire's hands. If it's close enough, take a swing. Knock the crap out of it. I said knock the snot out of it, and sure as hell he did. It was pretty dang cool. Great moment. And I'm still in awe of the moment. And just seeing the fact that he was running right behind Kay, and I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. And they both gunned it, though. It was pretty dang cool. What wasn't cool is the Denver Nuggets lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. Series is now tied 2 games apiece. It was an ugly game. Both teams were off. It was not a lopsided game. They went back and forth. Playoff-wise, it was a quick turnaround. If you think about it, they had a late start on the game prior, and then, off one day, next day's the game, and they started at 1:30. So it was a quick turnaround in that regards, and both teams just looked off. It could have gone either way, but they just weren't making anything. It was just a shit game. A lot of missed opportunities on both teams. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. Will the Nuggets have it in them to, win another game? Hopefully. But listen, you can't take the Thunder lightly. They will fucking nail you to the ground and beat the shit out of you. So this could go either way. We'll see if the Nuggets have the stones to take out the Thunder. Really cool thing I saw before we get into, we got a few more things actually. Michael Jordan is going to serve as a special contributor to NBC's upcoming NBA draft. I've never seen him give any sort of commentary when it comes to the NBA. That's going to draw a lot of attention. A lot of viewers are going to want to see that. So that will be interesting. Growing up, I remember the Jordan era. He was just, obviously between him and LeBron, it's like, who's the GOAT? Who gives a shit? Michael Jordan was fun to watch, and he didn't flop like a fucking bitch. Which, by the way, watching the Nuggets game, my God, Jokic is getting worse. Him and LeBron, two peas in a pod. It's fucking annoying, starting to drive me nuts. So that's exciting to see what Michael Jordan will do as a contributor to NBC's upcoming NBA coverage. Early talk out of the Cleveland Browns rookie mini camp. Shedeur Sanders is tearing it up. He's looking good. And Dylan Gabriel, who was drafted ahead of Shedeur, they're trying to hype him up, but everything I'm reading is Gabriel's not really lighting it up like Shedeur is. So there's a good chance Shedeur is going to make the leap over Dylan Gabriel. So we'll see that. Speaking of Gabriel, he did a press conference the other day. And right after the press conference, I posted this video on my Facebook account, facebook.com/DeHuff Podcast. It's this media member. So Gabriel says, all right, thanks, guys. It walks off, and this media member's up there, and you see him mouthing, I'm taller than him. And then he's like, I'm taller than him. I'm taller than him. It's just so funny. He said it like 3 times. He was like so excited. But then it's just also, and and some people are like, oh, that's so unprofessional. He should lose his job. Fuck you. No. Do you know what we fucking, all the time, us media members are talking shit about certain players. They're like, he's not as tall as they say he is. Bullshit. Yeah, ask Scott Hastings. There was a point in time where he's like, dude, they say I'm 6'11", but he's like, I was never 6'11". I was 6'10". But they do that. Maybe that's what the guy was commenting on. But sometimes players are assholes and be like, God, he's a dick. We say a lot of shit. You know what? The players do the same thing. So don't act like it's this innocent moment that this media member, ruined. He'll probably get a talking to. But if he gets written up or suspended or fired, that's a joke. And that organization should be ashamed. It's not that big of a fucking deal. My God, people are soft. Oh, it's like calling me Darth Vader. It's so insulting. Shut up. You know what we need to do now? Jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Zeke. He says, DeHuff, love the show. And then, I don't know why I paused. And he said, when you consume a podcast, do you prefer video or just audio? I'm old school. I love audio. Thanks for keeping it solid. Yeah, that's interesting. As much as I like video, I just don't have the attention span to really sit in front of it. But I guess what's cool about that is you could have the video up and still be listening to it, and then every now and then you just glance back over. Like if I'm talking about something specific and maybe I have that picture or whatever up there on the screen, maybe that's beneficial. Otherwise, I'm more of the audio too, where, I just kind of like it. But maybe that's because I came from a world of radio, being in radio for 18 and a half years, sitting there and just, I appreciate when somebody can paint the picture with their words. I don't know how well of a job I do on that. I try to do a good job with that, but uh, I I I think there's too many times where, especially this new age of media that we're in, where the quote unquote talent is so reliant on the video that if you were able to, if for some reason you had to subtract that from their content, where would they be? They wouldn't know what to do. So I appreciate anybody that can talk and make it interesting, and you don't have to lean heavy on imagery unless the imagery is coming from my voice and I'm painting the picture for you and you can see it in your mind. So I guess I prefer audio. I do. Then I think it just kind of frees you up. You can put in your earbuds or you can put it on a loudspeaker. I don't know why you do that. That's an HR nightmare for me. Or if you're listening to me, I should say, I got no skin in the game. That's on you. That's on you. But I like that freedom of listening to a show without having to be tied to the screen. So I guess that's where I'm at with that, Zeke. So if that makes sense, I just think it's fun. Also, what I like to do too is sometimes when I'm editing these down, I'll be post show and I'm like, dude, I should have dropped in that soundbite. That would have been hilarious. And I'm like, you know what? I can't really do it with the video. It's just more complex. So I'll be like, you know what? I'll just add that to the audio version. So a lot of times the audio version is different because I'll throw in more jokes by adding more drops. If that makes sense. I think it's fun. I'll be like, oh, you know what? There's no harm in just me adding this here. Why not? It's fun. So me being a radio guy, Zeke, I lean on that. And there's nothing wrong with inserting things late.
Right, as always.
Oh, yeah. Ken knows. Ken knows. Oh, see, like you would think that maybe I'm adding these posts, but I'm not. Lick my balls. Makes no sense. Good times. Good times. Great oldies. Good times. Hey, I saw your mom yesterday.
And she showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
Stupid. Oh, good times. Guys, sorry. See, when I play those sound bites on the video version, there's nothing different. It's just me. So I like the audio version, but there's nothing wrong with the video version too. I do try to add visual elements every now and then. I'll have like little things pop up on the screen, but yeah, I kind of lean with you, Zeke, on that one, where I'm more of a audio guy. It's interesting. Hey guys, if you want to be like Zeke and join the show, or like Michael and all the other guys, I forgot who else joined the show. Go ahead, hit me up, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or you can get me on my socials at DeHuffPodcast, and I'll read them on the show. Whether it's you don't like the sound of that, you want to take a headline and add a little spin to it, put a little spit polish on there, make it good. Send it my way. I like it when you guys do that. Or if there's a topic you want to get into, or a question you want to throw my way, please go ahead and do that. Again, at DeHuff Podcast on socials, or you can respond on the show wherever you're consuming this, whether it's Spotify, Apple, or whatever. I love reading those. And make sure you give the show a nice rating, a nice review wherever you're consuming this, okay? That helps with the algorithm. And like I said, commenting like on Spotify, that helps distribute, helps spiderweb the show out, and that's really neat. Guys, I truly appreciate you. By the way, I got voted, I can't remember the company. it's like millions podcasts or something like that. They sent me a note saying I was the 21st, I'm guessing on the planet, 21st best weird podcast, weird/funny podcast. That's what it was. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. I'm fine with that. I think it was Michael who was just like, yeah, but you're definitely just the number one weird podcast. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate you guys. Also, I just checked it yesterday. I'm still the number one comedy podcast in the state of Colorado. So thank you guys so much, and really appreciate you guys consuming this product. Love it when you're able to interact. I understand that not all of you can, based on, how you consume it. You might be listening to this while you drive. That's okay. It's okay. I appreciate that you listen. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you laughed a little bit in this episode. That's what we're all about. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Big thanks to Roof Goat USA. Go ahead, check them out at roofgoatusa.com. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.